There could be a microphone, an invisible microphone right beside you, an invisible camera. Jimi Hendrix's godson could be here playing guitar right beside you in a nano world, and you wouldn't even know it. Where did the Anunnaki go? Maybe they went into the nano world. We're building whole engines and gears preparatory to building a new civilization at this nano level as we speak. NASA is primarily interested in nanotechnology because they say they can build thinking spaceships, living spaceships with this nanotechnology. Surely the Anunnaki had this same ability. With this technology, the ability to control the arrangement of atoms is here. Here's an example of what scientists did. They made this little stick figure by rearranging atoms. Here's a depiction here of using instruments available at a nano lab at MIT. Researchers can observe materials undergoing physical changes at the nano scale. This is godlike ability. They can completely rearrange matter. Here's a couple of scientists at the nano lab at MIT. This is priests of Ea standing before their pillar, which is some kind of a computer, perhaps? I mean, you know, can I take these guys here standing at their pillar and say it's similar to these guys here standing at their pillar? I do. Because I believe they had this ability. And I believe that we've reclaimed it. If you want to know about nanotechnology, go to nanoconference.com and look at the list of 100 or so conferences going around the planet right now dedicated to nanotechnology. Then what I want you to do is look at the logos for those conferences. They show our beautiful blue apple floating out here in the middle, I'm sorry, that's Earth, here in space. And what they're showing is their vision. We're going to take Earth and make a new matrix parked one dimension over from you. Okay? So we've got nanotechnology saying we don't like this Earth anymore. We're going to go over here and play. Okay? And all those that want to go say aye. Well, you know, it's incredible what they have the ability to do. Here's the National Nanotechnology Initiative in Washington going off in April. Look at their logo. Blue apples. Yes, sir. This is a consciousness thing. As I said before, blue apples represent the ultimate extension of our consciousness. And that's what nanotechnology also represents. And you don't have to be stoned in order to get a hold of these teachings. You have to just go to some of these conferences and see what these guys say is possible. And what's possible is the recreation of the Stargate secrets of the gods. And here is my comparison. You know, I just loved it when I found this, because when I talked with Dana Augustine, I said, Dana, it's the goddess, and she's got her pillar, and she's got her blue apples. And he said, well, what do the blue apples look like? And I said, just think neutrino. And Dana came back with this depiction right here, and I said, groovy, man, those are the blue apples. That works for me. And then I find this depiction of the logo of the Nanotechnology Conference, and Dana did not see it. It's just, I think, an example of the synchronicity, the flow, the consciousness that's inherent in this study. Do you know that astronomers have detected a cosmic web out there? Dr. Andrew Taylor of the Royal Observatory in Edinburgh, UK, Scotland, where Rosslyn Chapel is, says the galaxies we see lie within large dark matter clumps, but these clumps are connected by cosmic filaments. Bridges of dark matter and that connect the clusters. This is called string theory, the connection between all matter, all the galaxies. And string theory, I think, is the ultimate theory of Ea. The scientists tell us that there's a symphony of life out there. Life is simply a ketone frequency or vibration, and the fundamental building blocks of reality, which is what we're manipulating, are vibrating strings. Here's a snapshot of a cosmic string network, a sector of space that's made up of strings. Simply put, superstring theory says that all particles and forces are manifestations of different resonances. It's all about the ketone frequency or vibration of tiny one-dimensional strings, or possibly membranes, giving a living quality to our universe. vibrating in 10 dimensions. They're so small our science and technology cannot detect them yet. They also tell us that there's two types of strings, strings with a clockwise vibration that live in a 10-dimensional space, and strings with a counterclockwise vibration that live in a 26-dimensional space. You think, you got problems, or we have problems getting up in the morning and making coffee. Just think about trying to organize a 26-dimensional space. These spirals are inherent within us. They are literally encoded within our DNA, or rather the knowledge of these symbols. The clockwise spiral, since the beginning of time, has represented water, power, and energy. The counterclockwise spiral is the Egyptian hieroglyph for thread, string, which resembles a fetus, which in a sense is what our body and DNA strings are, is a bunch of strings. A similar Chinese ideogram means return or homecoming or home. Yeah, you bet. The soul involves itself in this string of DNA, and it's its ladder to God. It's the means to return home. This is one of my favorite depictions. It shows the symbol for Nibiru here with the sun god. He's got his ring or tone in hand right here. And when you get a little bit closer, you see that supporting the symbol are the two strings. M theory is something else that applies to this search as well. M stands for not only mother, but it stands for missing, the mother of all theories. It also stands for matter and mystery. Scientists tell us that, again, that 9/10 of the matter that we know composes the universe is missing. Well, it's not missing. We just are finally getting the ability to detect it. That missing matter is called the black stone. Now, black stone refers to like black ops. It's something that's hidden. It's not gone. It's not missing. But it's actually the foundation for all the myths and religions. And I submit that the black stone, the missing matter, and the blue apples are the same thing. The black stone, if we only could get together with some Muslim world leaders like Saddam Hussein and others and talk with them about it, we'd say, now look, you're defending a black stone of your religion, but what is really behind it? Allah means light. Can't we get together and talk about this and not have any more wars about religion? Can't we just kind of agree that we're on the edge here of stepping into the stars? And we don't really need, we can put aside the jealous religions of our past and the jealous confrontations. When Muhammad went up into the heavens, he did so through a ladder that extended from a black stone, the hidden stone, the hidden tone. It's the same tone that Jacob laid his head on. Of course, billions of Muslims turn thrice daily and pray to that black stone, yet not knowing what it is. In the meditation room of the United Nations in New York, the foundation stone of the UN is a black stone, the hidden stone, thought to represent all the world's religions. It's symbolic of the primal source of life and power. It's the missing capstone that appears on the back of the $1 bill, the light, the return of the light. A fraction of a second after the Big Bang, all the primordial soup of matter in the universe was broken, shattered like an egg. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Wait, what is that? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses, all the king's men couldn't put Humpty back together again. Why not? It's a riddle. Humpty Dumpty is symbolic of the cosmic egg of the goddess. The reason the king's men and king's horses can't put him back together is because reassembling is the job of the goddess. Division, jealousy, confrontation, conflict is the job of the god, of Enlil. Tara, the goddess, Ea, who is both male and female, is the one who puts it all back together for us. This missing matter was thought to have disappeared forever, but again, it didn't disappear, it didn't go anywhere. And scientists strongly suspect that the exotic soup of matter dissolved and can still be found in today's universe, in the core of certain very dense objects they call neutron stars. And this is an incredible depiction here, the first detailed all-sky picture of the infant universe, 380,000 years after the Big Bang. Boom, here's this incredible photo. These neutron stars are formed in supernova explosions of massive stars. The impulse from the supernova releases neutrinos. What do neutrinos look like in scientific depictions? Blue apples. There they are, at the farthest reaches of our universe, at the farthest reaches of our imagination, at the very core of the supernovas that bring life, that bring the elements of which our bodies are created, are the blue apples. Fusion reactions in the core of the sun pump out more than 200 trillion neutrinos every second. And this number pales compared to the output of a supernova. Because of their numbers and their ethereal nature, billions of them pass through your body every second. Neutrinos may hold the answer to some of the most exciting questions of astronomy, but also for spirituality as well, because if we can get a hold of these blue apples as they pass through our body, if we can see them, we can begin to more fully utilize them. Where are all the hidden blue apples, then, is the big question. Physicists say because neutrinos are the second most common particles in the universe after photons, or particles of light, the question of their mass has cosmic importance and, as well as I said, spiritual importance. These neutrinos or blue apples may provide part of the answer of the missing matter. And again, once we know the missing secrets of the missing matter, we become like the Anunnaki. We become the illumined ones, the light beings. If you go to Sudbury, Ontario, Canada, you find the Sudbury Neutrino Laboratory. It's an observatory. A mile or so down beneath the ground in a nickel mine, they've got this incredible blue apple that they have created. At the heart of the Sudbury Neutrino Observatory is a large spherical vessel of water surrounded by 9,500 photodetectors. It's a giant eye. It's one of a handful of facilities worldwide that could glimpse a proto-neutron star or witness the birth of a black hole, i.e. a wormhole. And this is what it looks like. It's a giant eye buried underneath the ground that is designed to see neutrinos. The Sudbury Neutrino Observatory is the first neutrino telescope sensitive enough to measure not only ordinary electron neutrinos, but also the much more rare muon and tau neutrinos. This allows scientists to investigate the long-standing mystery of the missing matter, the missing neutrinos from the sun. Finding even a handful of neutrinos from these quasars would allow us to understand how galaxies are formed, but also how the stargates and wormholes are formed as well. And as the scientists say, learning something about these tiny particles will tell us everything about the universe. They symbolize the tau neutrinos with the letter V, which is kind of interesting because in a moment I'm going to show you depictions of Jesus with this very letter V. But first I want to show you the Antarctic muon and neutrino detector array. It's called AMANDA for short. It's not a mirror, it has no eyepiece, and it has no domes similar to what you see at Sudbury. Instead, it consists of about 700 bowling ball-sized glass sensors that pick up the faint blue flashes given off when neutrinos collide with atoms more than a mile down in the Antarctic ice. In other words, blue apples. We are right on the edge of reclaiming the secrets of light, of these neutrinos, and the ability to not only know how these galaxies are formed, but also how the stargates and wormholes connecting us with these galaxies can also be constructed. And as I said, the letter V is the symbol for the very rare and exotic tau neutrinos. Whenever you get into the research about the goddess Mary, and when you look into the story of Jesus, you find that there's an enormous mystery about the arrangement of the letter OVO that appears on the face of these goddesses. Here's another example from Syria of the OVO, and as we can see, the O's are formed by the bullseye symbol that I submit as the symbol for the stargates or wormholes. There's an enormous mystery that is bandied about by researchers into the Shroud of Turin. What they have found is that there's 14 different markings that appear on the face of Jesus in the Shroud of Turin, the alleged face of Jesus rather. One of the most curious is the strange O